Coach, a game in which you guys held St. Thomas to just a single goal. It's only the second time this season they've been held to a goal. How impressed were you with this team's defensive effort and Steinman in net tonight?
Yeah, it was real good job by our guys. I thought throughout the whole weekend, I think we didn't give up any 5-on-5 goals. The 3 power play goals and a 3-on-3 goal, and in total. So, as I said to our guys, if we can play that type of game, if you look at our last number of CCHA games there, we're at a stretch where we only let 1 goal in a game, and you have to play good defense, in order to win. And we got behind early with that goal on the power play. I think it was maybe the first shot Jacob saw in net, but he settled right in pretty quick. Obviously made a huge save on the 2-on-0. Down the stretch on the 6-on-5. At one point, we were tied in shots. I think they had like 10 shots in the last 5 minutes off it, but real happy for the group. We've said all along, we talked to the guys this morning about going in this game, and we break down a lot of the series. We went to their rink, we beat them in overtime and lost in regulation. Last night we beat them in overtime. They beat us in overtime last night, so now we needed to win tonight to have an even series of points. 6-6. So that's how our mindset was. How do we get out of tonight with a win? So now both teams have a win, both teams have an overtime win, and it brought us back to 500 hockey with them. So it was a hard battle. I thought our guys played a really courageous game. Like that wasn't easy. That's a good hockey club, and I thought even more so down the stretch. The third period, we did a really good job of really managing pucks and minimizing any high risk plays. That third period, as much as it might have been exciting, it was also a real, I think, a fluent structure period, kind of a boring period, in the sense that we wanted to get the red line, make them come 200 feet, make sure we have numbers above them, rinse, repeat, recycle, do it again, and they were trying to chip pucks and flip pucks out. We had good numbers in behind, so it was good, all from our goalie out, the D, the forwards, really happy.
Like the team had to bounce back quick after that goal, or do you feel like they just kind of brushed it off and locked right in? Because Ben, of course, scored a couple minutes later there.
Yeah. So. Well, there's no alternative. You can't feel sorry for yourself. It's early. We put ourselves in a position with a cross check right off the hop, and credit to them. They've had a good power play, all year, and they had a good one all weekend against us. But we responded, and then we got our chance on the power play where we got ours, off it, and then another 5-on-5 goal. So it was a real gutsy effort. We have a lot of guys tired, and they should be tired. We play a physical, fast game. I thought as the game got on there, even the third, I thought we were elevating still a little bit, on it, and we didn't give up. If you look in the third, very many odd man rushes as compared we would maybe in the other periods off it, and it's tough. It's tough to get points. So this is the first weekend that, at the end of the day, we look at it and we get 4-6. Right? I think most teams would take that. So we're pretty happy.
1 for 4 on the power play with the goal for Jackson, but you also generated some good looks, it seemed like, at least on the other two. So you felt like it was a pretty good weekend, just all in all. Special teams.
Special teams, no. Our special teams need to get better. Our 5-on-5 plays good structure, but special teams are a must, right? Like our power play outside of that first goal by Needs, the next two we didn't get much zone time, and it's all about momentum. You may not score, but you have to get zone time, change your opponent's mindset. You got to be on loose puck recoveries. You got to be on the same page. You got to make adjustments off face-offs, and on the penalty kill, obviously it wasn't that good this weekend for us, right? We have to be better on it. If they score 3 power play goals on it. And it's not that it wasn't good. That's a good hockey team too. So on the flip side, you got to tip your hat, to a team that can move a puck around like they did. And they have Pilling there, scored 2, one on the back door yesterday, and there's one-timer, off. And then today, that get tipped or go off. I don't know if it went off Ty Higgins or their guy net front, but he was screened coming downhill. So we got to make some adjustments because again, this weekend Augustana is a good hockey club, so we're gonna have to be sharp in both those categories, both power play and penalty kill.
Coach, you talked last night in the post game about you're kind of tired of hearing about the schedule. Yeah. You got some really strong teams you're playing as you finish out the regular season here and fight for positioning. And after looking at tonight, you're right. You got a pretty good team here too, don't you?
Yeah, I like our guys. It's funny, we got a long ways to go. For sure, we're nowhere near the end or to our potential either. We still have growth in our game too to get better. But when I look back to where we were on our first 2 games in Niagara, going over there, and where we are now, credit to our guys on buy-in, credit to our leaders, bringing younger guys through. We're a whole different team. And I think that's when you really want to evaluate programs, is where were they at the start and where are they at the end. And it's not always, we coach to win, but sometimes it's more than that. You're seeing, our team started to form an identity. I think at the beginning of the year we lacked that. We were kind of not sure who we were or what we were, how or what we thought we were. There's a lot of things going on, but we slowly started to generate a bit of an MO for our team. And I think our MO is we play hard, we play honest, we play fast, we're competitive, we play the right way. And if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to do the same, and then from there we got to hope for a little bit of puck luck. We had some good chances early, we just didn't bury them, off it. But like I said, I'm real happy for our guys. That's a happy locker room. They should be for 24 hours, right? Make smart decisions, and then let's get back to work Monday.
Great play both ends. Obviously, both teams pushing hard tonight, but I was impressed by the fact it was played so clean as well. Wasn't a lot of penalties,
Yeah, that's not normally the norm. No, I'm joking. Yeah, it was hard, right? You know what I think too, Clint, off that was yesterday was a very physical game. It's hard to do it again, back to back. I thought we pressed and played physical tonight again, but last night, that first game always on Friday seems like a battle and a war out there for both teams, right, off it. And last night was a lot of emotions in the game. The overtime part of the game, the power plays, the after the whistle, you could just tell that was a playoff game. And same with tonight, but it was definitely probably a little bit more of a step back and more plays being made tonight by both teams, I thought. And, and it just, fortunately tonight we hung on and we found a way, so it was good.
Coach, I thought a major key to the victory was the puck battles along the wall in front of the net. I thought you guys dominated most of the night there.
Yeah.
And I was particularly impressed with Brody Waters
Yep.
and Martin. I thought they both did a great job.
Really good. Those guys go quietly out there, which a lot of people don't see what they do, the little things of the game. The wall battles, right? The blue paint, and which was good for our group. It'll be interesting tomorrow to see what I see in Sport Logic, because yesterday had us winning 36% of our battles yesterday, which didn't sit well with me today when I read that, and we discussed that. So our 50-50 compete loose puck recoveries that are contested needed to be higher, and I thought we did a better job, because what was happening last night was their D are big and strong, and we didn't get any zone time last night. Tonight we had more zone time because we were getting into, I call it throw them on your back, put them in your backpack. So we got in front of them. A lot of times what happened last night, we were going to a puck and trying to meet them there at the same time instead of buying ice. So we were sprinting there, and I was going against Kevin here. Instead of, I'm trying to cut Kevin's ice off and put him on my back so I can have the next play. We did a much better job of that tonight.
Coach, going to sound like a bit of a broken record here, but another strong shot blocking effort.
You love that question.
I do love that question. It's my go-to.
I don't even think we should give him the mic. I can just go right from Clint or over here right to the shot blocking.
Yeah, seeing that buy-in once again.
Yeah, it was good. Especially, I think we had a lot at the end. There was a lot of really good block shots. I thought there's a huge one, the 6-on-5. That I knew there was other ones, but I just saw the one from Ben Doran. Coming out sacrificing. We talked about the importance of it last night. I wouldn't be remiss if I didn't talk about Ivan Krodiak. I thought played a really good game and stepped up. Played really hard, really solid. A player that maybe doesn't play a ton of minutes on certain nights, and with Gustav out, he stepped up and did a really nice job, helping out, in the back end and killing a lot of plays out there against really good players. Like when you got guys like Gaffney and Whalen coming down with speed, and then the next shift he's going against like Pilling and Van Vliet. Like they're two different kind of lines, but I must say he did a really good job and did a lot of nice jobs blocking pucks too.
With Norris and Sternberg out of lineup, we saw Emerson get the A for tonight.
Yeah.
What went to the decision to let him wear the letter tonight?
Well, we just had 2 or 3 guys out. It'd been a lot of work for Granner if he had to go back and forth to the ref circle right now. So he's obviously been a leader for us all year too. So we thought it was good that we got another one in there.
Another strong game for Jacob Steinman. Makes 31 saves, 17 in the third period alone. What did you see out of his game throughout the night?
Yeah, real good. Did you like it? It was pretty good. What was your favorite save he made?
That one.
That 2-0?
Yeah, 2-0.
It's pretty good, eh?
Looked like Dominic Hasek out there.
I worked with him that week on that, hey? He was good, right? Calm. Tough game. You let that first one in, you're probably going, holy smokes. And they're feeling good and coming down, but he really settled in. Both, I thought he played great tonight. Cole played great last night, and they both gave us a chance to win hockey games. And it's been nice having them for Friday, Saturday night right now, doing what they're doing. So hopefully we keep that going.
Yeah, Coach, a couple more individuals. Ben Doran, we've mentioned a couple of times, maybe sneaky second on the team in points, but he had a pretty loud night, 3 points tonight. Jackson Niedermayer as well. He got a goal after having a good blocking day last night. Ivan Krodik, as you mentioned, got a point as well. Just seeing those guys get rewarded, as you like to say a lot. How is that seeing those guys have good days after having good efforts yesterday?
Yeah, it's great. You play the game right, good things will follow you, right? Off it. It's funny. I've been here now almost end of 2 years coming up, right? And it's my second season. I've never had meetings with players regarding points, ever. I don't set goals on that. I think if you play the game right, your points will be a byproduct of how you go out and compete every day. And it was funny, Ben Durant came in to me about, we talked maybe a month ago, and he's played pretty good hockey in the last bit. And you could tell, every player goes out wanting to score, especially if you're a forward. That's just your natural kind of tendency. It feels good, right? And you could tell, he's a little off. So him and he came in, did some video, we had a coffee, and we talked through it, and you could tell it was on his mind. I think at that time he might have had 3 goals, maybe, or something. I forget. I couldn't even tell. I remember saying to him, like, don't fret. You're on the power play still. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you need to just focus on playing the game right, generating, and the puck will follow you. And he's been great. I had to get on him today a little bit because late in the game he toes the line, Ben. If you notice in the last 3 weekends, he's been pretty good. We had to have a little talk about the extracurricular. He's one that likes to give the extra cross check or something out there. And there was even one late in the period where he's tied up with the guy down in the corner on top of him, and to get up he gives him another. I'm like, he comes to the bench and he's like, I was just trying to get up. I'm like, I don't care what you're trying to do right now. Like, just don't put us in that position. But you know what's great with him is you never have to motivate him to play. If anything, you got to pull him back a bit. And I'd much rather have a team like that and players like that to coach than trying to get a player to compete. So real happy for him. Needs was rock solid again back there for us. Did a really nice job. And, we talked about Ivan. So, yeah, Jackson in here today, right? Yeah. He must have heard all of those great compliments from yesterday about him.
Coach, we touched on the defense, a really strong performance today. About 4 minutes plus of 6-on-5 hockey at the end of the game, and they still showed resilience under a lot of duress, including with key guys out, as we've touched on. How are these guys able to, be so resilient in these really difficult situations? Yeah,
that was a long time. Like, they had zone time for the whole 4.5 minutes, right? The good thing that saved us is they didn't have a timeout. So we're able to, be able to get we kind of had a 3-line rotation kind of going, and they, trying to keep their big guys out. And even I told their guys it's okay to ice it because we had our timeout if we needed to move it. But our guys have been a resilient group all year. We've won so many games in different ways, and we needed to win that game in that fashion to face those 6-on-5s, because what that did was probably make up a lot from the 5-on-4s that were going on earlier. We weren't really good on our kill, so we can take that and build off of that real good 6-on-5. So that's done by Curtis Carr, our associate coach. He does a really good job on that. Made real good adjustment, really good face-off play there. Adjustment when we called the timeout was dialed in, so all the credit goes to him.
Jackson, another power play goal for this team tonight as well. Did you feel like things were clicking? Another 1-for-4 night, and it was a big goal, a big insurance goal there.
Yeah, I think anytime you are able to capitalize on a power play, put yourself in a good chance to win the game. That one came at a good time, and it was needed for sure.
Ben, you guys held St. Thomas to a single goal. It's only the second time this year they've been held to a goal. what was it like just to exert that defensive effort and hold a great offense like that to just one goal tonight?
Yeah, no, I think it just shows how close we are as a team, how much we love each other, just the buy-in from everybody on the ice. So a lot of guys out there, like, why not, willing to block pucks, and that's what it takes. And then obviously our goalie's doing an amazing job. Moorsey the first night, Steiny tonight. So
yeah, I was going to ask Jackson, with Steiny having as big of a night as he was, making those saves, was it just a big energy boost each and every save he just kept making there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that one he had on the 2-on-0 there, when I think it was on the power play or just a kind of a broken play. Yeah, you see your goalie make a save like that, and you see him battling, it makes you want to work that much harder and play harder in front of him. So anytime you got a goalie, and we have 3 great goalies that we go to battle for every night, and likewise for them. So yeah, we got trust in every single one of those goalies, and yeah, when they're making big saves, it helps us, and yeah, it's a big energy boost.
Ben, no 5-on-5 goals yesterday, but 2 5-on-5 goals tonight, both for you guys. What did you guys see defensively that you were able to hold them to no points in 5-on-5 this weekend?
Yeah, it was kind of just stick to our beliefs, kind of get pens quick. They have a really good team, fast, a lot of skilled guys. So I think our thought process was just to smother them, keep pucks low, and our own end, get pucks quick out of our zone, and I thought we executed well.
Jackson, second period's been a little bit of a struggle lately, but it seemed like today that might have been the best period that you guys had, especially with the 2 goals. Just what did you guys have a focus going into that second period, trying to come out hot and playing like you did at the end of the first?
No, I think, listen to Willie talk yesterday, I mean, we got a good team. We know we have a good team. We believe that, and I mean, it shows every single day when we come to the rink. We put in the work, and we deserve it. We deserve everything that we work for, and yeah, I mean, we've had some troubles in the second, but we don't look too much into that. Every period's a new period. It's 0-0 every period. Willie comes in, and you can't get too high, can't get too low, even keel, and I think that's just kind of the mindset going into every period.
Willie talked post-game last night about how a lot of other teams in the conference, opponents of yours, maybe get a lot of credit for being some strong team or more than you guys do. And, now you've won the weekend against the top-ranked team in the CCHA. What's that like for you guys, and what kind of confidence does that give you going forward?
Yeah, we got confidence. I don't think that's an issue. We're confident. You could see it with all 4 lines. Willie can roll forward, and on the back end, we got 7 back there that can play, and it shows with both goalies how we're rotating them. We got depth, and we believe in every guy in that locker room can come in and make an impact. And yeah, obviously it's a good weekend for us, and enjoy it for a little bit and focus on the next week.
Ben, over the course of this weekend, you've been able to surpass your career best for assists in the season and points in the season. What has gone into this season to allow you to have a career year?
I think I got to give it to this team, and I'm playing with some really good guys, and kind of owe everything to them.